so February 16th, we woke up and we hit the ATM in Vietnam. So that's something, each time we landed in the airport, we tried to take out some of the local money just so we would have some on hand. And because the ATMs in the airport, I think, are more likely to be safe than some of the random ones you might come across.
Yeah, so especially in Vietnam and Thailand, I think it was Vietnam. We left one of the airports and we tried to go back inside.
Oh, yeah.
And
their security there is
pretty
not
secure.
Yeah,
it's like their military, I think, because they were in like green uniforms. And, yeah.
So the 16th, we woke up. We went to coffee at the Mockingbird this time.
So I remember we were walking around looking for an ATM on the way to the Mockingbird, and we had some problems finding one that had money in it.
Yeah, we hit one or two that were empty or didn't work. We were a little bit nervous about like a scam or them taking the number off of our debit card.
Yeah,
but
like a swipe reader or something like that.
Yeah.
But it did work out.
Yeah, we didn't have any problems.
Yeah, so the Mockingbird was
the Mockingbird Cafe. Yeah, I remember it was up like 4 flights of stairs, and there were like some really cool hipster signs pointing the way.
But so like the workshop's entryway, like there's a sign outside that says the workshop, and you could see that there's something up there. But like when you go in, like the ground floor is like scooter parking and this building that's like literally crumbling. And there's this big staircase, like big wooden staircase that obviously at some point was just like spectacular and grand. But now it's like run down and it's kind of
really, really old, but it's still really intricate with like the banister had like carving on it that you could see, and the style of the stairs were it was just really neat.
It's like industrial steampunk on the way up, and then you get upstairs to the workshop and it's like modern, like kind of like minimalist style almost.
Yeah, it's like half like artifact and half like modern.
Yeah, it's like half post-industrial punk and then half like bright modern minimalist. It's fantastic.
Really nice.
The Mockingbird, however, like
there's a very like grungy, authentic feel.
So you're like going up into this building and like we read the description on TripAdvisor. And so
which is why we knew how to find it, because otherwise it would have been really confusing.
Yeah, so if we hadn't read that, I would have turned around. But so like you're going through this building, and so like there are all of these signs for businesses that are closed, and I'm sure they were doing their second, third, or fourth jobs and not running whatever that shop was because it's the wrong time of day. So you're going through this building, and the building is not kept well. It's like super grungy, like dirt. You're like going up the stairwell. And so, we knew that we had to go to the top of the stairwell from the description. And so, like, we keep going up, and, like, it's kind of an open stairwell. So you're, like, looking out, and you see, like, apartments with, like, clothing hanging everywhere. And it's just, like, is this really how you get to this coffee shop? And so we finally get to the top, and I think there's a really good picture of the sign. And then we see it's like there's almost no lighting, and so it's like very dimly
dingy
lit.
And dark, yeah.
And so,
but this is for one of the highest reviewed coffee shops on TripAdvisor.
Yeah, and so you get to the sign, and then you go inside, and it's this little tiny space, and there's like a guy sitting at a bar eating his morning noodles.
He's eating
his spot for breakfast.
Yeah.
And he's like sitting there slurping in it, and like you can just kind of see him sizing us up, and it's like some more foreigners. Like they got here because of TripAdvisor. Okay.
So we went and sat down.
Yeah, we went in and sat down.
And you ordered us 2 café soirs.
2 café soirs.
2 café soirs.
And there was a Vietnamese couple sitting at the table next to us that were like cute.
I think she was drawing a picture. So it was the whole place
artsy.
had like a very artistic den kind of place. So there was like the front room. He had like some really nerdy like statues. And
he was like a big fan of Iron. There was like an Iron Man knockoff.
I thought it was Iron Man, but I don't know if it was actually Iron Man.
No,
but there
was
like video game figures and cartoons and superheroes. all up in the front room, which was kind of dark. That's where the bar was, where you order, and he was eating his breakfast. And then there was a little room that had some windows that you could kind of see out into the sunshine from. And we sat on a table in front of the windows, and there was a couch on the other part of the room where this cute little Vietnamese couple was, they were like sitting there flirting and smooching and drinking coffee and just hanging out the whole time we were there and after we left. And I think she was like drawing a picture of something.
Yeah.
It's a very artsy kind of place.
Yeah, and I think there were like pictures of mockingbirds around, and there was like poetry on the wall. I just remember that I think the Cafe Soir had a bunch of ice in it, and I was really paranoid about ice. Although it almost has to be fine there because there are so many people on TripAdvisor.
Yeah. And then I remember
there were ants crawling around.
There were ants crawling on the table and on the windowsill, and I also remember that this was the first time we had ordered Vietnamese coffee, like the proper with the little Vietnamese coffee thing and then pour the water over, and we didn't realize that the condensed milk was in the bottom, and at one point we were like, should we ask him for condensed milk or how does this work? And he was like, no, it's in there, stir it up.
Yeah, and like,
it was funny.
He was being a good sport.
Yeah.
He had very clearly dealt with clueless tourists a lot.
We were being totally clueless, and he was very nice about it, but
yeah.
It was funny. So that was really very tasty Vietnamese coffee.
Yeah. It's like a little metal contraption, and you have the coffee in, and then it drips and percolates down, and normally you have sweetened condensed milk. So it's called Cafe Soir. I'm mangling
Probably
the pronunciation of Soir. Soir.
I remember he told us how to say it right.
There's like a glottal stop at the end, and I can't do those very well.
There's some vowel thing. So yeah, the Mockingbird, that was really good. After the Mockingbird, we went to the workshop. After the Mockingbird Cafe, we went back to the workshop for more coffee, and that was just a fun place to hang out and talk and see the city and watch people walk by outside and people watch. And
I was being a little silly because I wanted like hot coffee as well. Like the Cafe Soir was good, but
yeah, it was cold coffee and kind of a little bit of everything. So then after the workshop, we walked north towards the Jade Emperor Pagoda.